Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eliza Miron, and this is the Daily Run with Za, where I share information, answer your questions that you have about my over 18 years of running every single day. So a run streak is defined as running at least 1 mile every single day, every calendar day. You can go to runeveryday.com to learn more. And so currently my streak is coming up on 19 years in September, and I share my story over on Instagram, Daily Run with Za. And from there, I've had a lot of questions, so I am creating these YouTube videos. So one of kind of the most common questions is, how far do I run every day? And it's kind of like a question that requires more explanation because, a lot changed over 18 and a half or coming up on 19 years where it's varied. But like I said, a run streak is minimum 1 mile every day. So, I have a podcast that I talk with other run streakers. So if you go over there, Daily Run with Za, you can find it on Apple, Spotify. But I interview other run streakers and, we kind of just create our own rules. So for the most part, the majority of runners, their minimum is 1 mile. One lady, her minimum is 3 miles. The Raven, who lives in South Beach, Florida, his minimum's 8 miles, which actually he's done less than that, but for the most part, every day is 8 miles. So we kind of just create these rules for ourselves. So to answer the question, how far I run every day, when I first started my run streak in 2002, my minimum was 20 minutes or maybe, a little over 2 miles. I called it like 2.5 miles. Back then, I was running a lot faster. 8-minute pace was like an easy run, a recovery run. And the reason why it was 20 minutes is just that's what my coach had on the schedule, was a rest day being 20 minutes. So I think I continued for 20 minutes or, over 2 miles being an easy run. I'm trying to think. I didn't run just 1 mile until, let's see. So the first decade of my run streak, my minimum was 20 minutes or 2.5 miles. And, the first decade I was training, the first part I was 2 years in high school running track and cross country, 4 years in college, and then 4 years of marathon training after that. So, in that time, how far I ran every day definitely varied as I was training. So for example, in, cross country, during college, I was running 50, 60, 70 miles a week, which is kind of a lot of good training. But, I was very dedicated into running the best that I could be. And, my days off would be 3 miles, slow recovery runs, or in between seasons. I just run 3 miles every day, just a light, slow jog. And once I got into marathon season, so 2010 was my biggest year. I logged over 3,000 miles that year. And how far I ran every day then was I was logging 80 miles a week, putting in some good marathon training and, still having those rest recovery days of 4 miles, just very easy, light jogging, 4 miles. But it definitely varied throughout the week. Sunday was a long run, 20 miles, Monday, 8, Tuesday, 12, Wednesday, 7, Thursday, 14, maybe Friday, the 4, Saturday, 8, varying like that. I'm not sure, exactly if that was 80 miles a week, but it varied over the week. So then going into when I kind of found yoga I found Ashtanga yoga practice in 2010 and just kind of really dedicated myself about 2012, where I was practicing every day. Practice would take like 2 hours, and it was, my priority was yoga at that time, but of course I fit in my run. So daily I was running 3 or 4 miles. Once I became pregnant in 2014, that's when I really scaled back my run. So I was running 1.5 to 2 miles every day. it was just like hard for me. I know some people enjoy running pregnant, but you know, the first trimester for me, and I'm making a separate video on that, but the first trimester for me, I just like couldn't breathe. I didn't have much like energy. My runs were very slow, you know, and at that time, the doctors do advise you to get some exercise. You know, it's not like I needed to rest at all. I was still in just, you know, healthy, great shape, but it was just hard to breathe. So I only ran 2 miles, and I continued a daily 2 miles from 2014 through really 2018. So that was literally 2 miles every day, nothing more than that. In that time, you know, I had a newborn, then I got pregnant again, and then I became a single mom working a 8 to 5 job, and I only had time for literally 20 minutes on my lunch break because I also had my yoga practice in the morning. So it's like 2 miles was what I ran every day. So to bring us back to the present time, you know, my schedule is a little bit more flexible, and you know, it's just difficult still having the 2 boys and getting in the run. So I don't have time for a marathon training schedule or even running, you know, an hour. Like I just feel like I take away from my time with them, or if I try to squeeze it in the morning, it's just really difficult if there's nobody really there to help with them. So currently I am running 3 miles minimum. So back up to last year, when COVID happened and I was, you know, stuck home with the boys, which actually was a positive experience for us. I realized, wow, I finally have the time to enjoy running again. And I really dove in, and, you know, I'd even competed some races this past year. I did some track workouts, and I just really, enjoyed, running again and not just trying to fit it in, where I could. So I decided to commit just this past year. So last year I logged 1,000 miles for the year. So you can kind of have an average there. And then just this past year, I decided I wanted to do at least 100 miles for the month. So my minimum's 3 miles every day. I just love 3 miles. I have this perfect 3-mile loop, and I just feel accomplished, like I ran, and it's not too far, and it's, you know, not like just 1 or 2 miles. And it's still a challenge, you know, in February when it was just icy and cold and miserable, you know, I was still able to get out there and get in 3 miles. So, but some days I do run longer. So currently, you know, in this 18th year, I've realized when I run past 7 miles, my back starts hurting. My muscles get a little bit tight, and, you know, I do have my yoga practice. So if I run long distances, it's like in my yoga practice, like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. So I over the years have found the balance of being able to run as well as commit to a yoga practice and still be able to have my body adapt to yoga and not be like super tight from running. So, yeah, but the last time I only ran the 1 mile was, you know, 2016. I've never ran just 1.0 miles. I've run probably, I don't think I've ever run less than 1.5. So I never do the 1 mile thing, but like I said, everybody comes up with their own rules. And I think just recently I did an average of all the, you know, the miles that I've ran for the past almost 19 years, and my average comes out to about 4.5 miles every day. So that was, you know, a time period of running 80 miles a week consistently, and then the time period of running 2 miles every single day. And now I'm just kind of finding this middle way of running 3 miles and sometimes a little bit longer, but no longer than 7 miles. So that is my answer to your question, how far I run every day. If you follow me on Instagram, Daily Run with Za, I post my runs for the day, so you can see, you know, how far I ran, my average pace, which, you know, I'm about a 9-minute jogger. You know, if I were to really push it, I'd be probably around like under 8 minutes. But every run is an easy run for me unless I'm feeling really great. I want to get in some speed work. But I can talk more about training, you know, as a beginner runner as well. Let me know if you'd like to see that video, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I answered your question. And please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos like this, and have a great day. Bye.